Hey, welcome to episode 193 of Front Seat Gamer. I'm
194.
Let's try that again. It's right in front of me. I read it.
I just changed
Oh,
it.
you're not on my screen.
Not on your screen.
All right, let's try that again. Hey, welcome to episode 194 of Front Seat Gamer. I'm Nick. I'm here with Blake
Hey, Nick.
and Paul
Hey.
with a very cleanly edited intro.
Perfect.
How's it going, guys?
Pretty good.
Yeah, good.
Yeah, good.
How are you?
I'm fine. I'm fine. Once in a blue moon, although apparently twice in the last 12 months, do we all play the same game?
Yeah.
The first time in a long time, it was Noida.
Yes.
I can't remember what
We did play something before that altogether, but I do not remember what it was.
Yeah.
Elden Ring.
But
no,
we
you
did not
played it
play that
after.
all together.
You played it
was
after.
it was me playing it after you guys had been like, it's great.
Yeah.
And Nick, you're dumb for not knowing how cool Elden Ring is. And I played it and I was like thoroughly unimpressed. Anyway.
I'm shaking my head.
And how many times have you beaten it? Okay.
I don't need to beat it
Okay, cool.
to enjoy it.
Uh-huh. Sure.
I don't beat most games.
Yeah.
Did you beat Noida to enjoy it?
No, I haven't beaten that one.
There you
But also there's things about that game I don't like that much.
go.
But I also appreciate that game, and I can appreciate Elden Ring. I just also think a lot of things, and we don't need. It's not an episode about Elden Ring. This is an episode about blueprints.
Yep. How much like Elden Ring it is.
Yep, that's right. I love that in blueprints you get destroyed by a guy on a horse straight away.
It is pretty awesome.
Yeah, no, this is blueprints, puzzle game, puzzle deck building roguelike.
Yeah.
Game. Roguelite, I guess, technically, because
Yeah,
there's
definitely.
permanent progression.
Yeah. The deck building's pretty light, right?
No.
No? I mean, I was going to...
Yeah, I mean, it depends on how you play. There are methodologies that become available that really become deck building,
Oh,
I believe.
interesting. Okay.
And I have not really engaged super hard on that mechanic.
Because to
yet.
me, it's just all RNG.
Yeah. Well, we can get into that, but first we'll talk about what it is, which is exactly what it said.
Yep.
Roguelite deck building puzzle game. It's first person. If you haven't looked it up, I think it's worth looking up this game. First of all, thoughts on it. I think it's fantastic.
I am really into this game.
Yeah.
I think this is like very much a game for me.
Yeah.
It would be like potentially even in my like top 5 games I've played kind
Wow.
of thing.
That's very high praise.
Yeah.
Blake?
I really like it too, but I don't enjoy a lot of the... I think I just don't enjoy the RNG-ness.
Okay. Well,
Because sometimes I just like... Sometimes you just have a day. The game is split up into days, and
Yep.
sometimes you have a day where you've just blocked off your whole thing, and then you're like,
Yep.
well, this
Yep.
was a complete waste.
yep.
you
Yes.
know? And I really don't like that.
Yes. That does feel a bit frustrating. I agree. But I also like that as a method for doling out discovery.
Mm-hmm.
And it's surprising how well that works for slowly revealing bits of information to solve various puzzles.
Mm.
And then you solve the puzzle, and then you discover, oh, there was all these other bits of information floating about as well that would have led me to that same solution. And that's quite cool. I like that as a way to give players as much information as they need and no more for them to go and solve puzzles usually. And giving them lots of opportunities to stumble across multiple different solutions
Mm.
or multiple different ways
Yeah,
to arrive at
that's
that
what
solution.
I find interesting as well. Like I have, after solving a puzzle, I have literally stumbled upon more clues
Mm.
That make it clearer and
that would
clearer
have,
what
yeah,
you can
yeah. And I'm
do.
just like, that's actually like super cool.
Yeah.
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 But
But I don't
I
think you
do
could-
I do understand that it would be actually probably, it would be pretty tough to, if it was like a static if this was just a traditional like static mansion,
Yes.
to have that same
Experience.
effect. Yeah.
So I quite like. I think that RNG works in its favor for that to that extent. But
I literally just get frustrated when I just feel like I've drawn a bunch of duds.
dead rooms.
Yeah,
Mm.
and
but
I'm just like, oh, this
you
is...
kind of you have to embrace that. It's,
Yeah.
It's like maybe it's because I've played so many roguelikes and roguelites that like dead runs are an inevitability.
Yeah.
You just
Yeah.
when there's randomness at play, or when there's a lot of choices, compounding choices at play, you end up with runs that don't go your way.
Yeah, and to be
You
fair,
can-
I have had very few of those like dead runs. It's just frustrating when you are at a point where you're like, okay, I have a goal to achieve, and you just end up with a dead run, and you're just like, I've got to try again. Like it's
I will say I quite like. I've had runs where it's like I'm going really well, and then a room that I've been looking for a really long time shows up, and it's, for example, a dead end room.
Yeah.
And it's like I have to make a choice now
Yeah.
between progressing my
Yeah.
run and getting this room.
well, I do like those choices.
Yeah.
I do like those.
I was gonna say too, those dead runs when you realize they're already going kind of badly become the perfect opportunity to pick things that are just for the sake of seeing what's there. Or,
Yeah, you know what? You're right. You're totally right, because that's exactly what I ended up
Yep.
doing, was just
Yeah.
like picking rooms I hadn't seen, or like, oh, this room costs a lot, and I wouldn't normally like want to do it at this like stage of the run, but it's like, well, I'm probably gonna lose this run anyway, so I'll just see it. And usually, actually, you know what? Usually that has always paid off.
Yep.
Like seeing a room for the first time, even if you know this is basically the end of the run, it has paid off.
Yes. That's one of the things I quite like about this game. It relates to that idea of like multiple ways to arrive at a solution.
Yeah.
Almost every room, in addition to whatever the room mechanic is. We should talk about this a little bit more in depth, shouldn't we?
Yeah,
So,
probably.
the structure of this game. You're a little boy, and you've inherited a massive mansion, but it's a magical mansion where when you enter the foyer, there's 3 doors available to you: east, west, and north. And when you click on the door to go into the next room, it presents you with 3 options, and the options are more or less random. And those rooms will have a certain number of doors and maybe a mechanic or some items in there. And you choose it, and that room appears, and you walk into that room, and there's maybe another 1, 2, or 3 doors,
Or none.
or none,
Yeah,
and,
or
and,
none,
and you repeat. And the goal is to get to sort of the end of the house. So there's 9 layers of house, and it's a 9x5 grid. And the deeper into the house you go, the more locked doors you encounter. And you can get keys through various means. And sometimes the lock is just a simple key, and sometimes it's a key card, and that's like a special item you have to track down potentially. And along the way, some of the rooms have puzzles. In fact, I would say almost every room is at least part of 1 or 2 puzzles, at the very least, in addition to whatever else is going on within that room. So what I really like about this game is there are small puzzles, there are big puzzles, and there are medium puzzles, and there are like also lots of distractions.
So many distractions.
And there are lots of things that I've looked at and have thought, that's probably a distraction. And in retrospect, it might be a puzzle. Or it might be a clue to a puzzle.
The thing I found, like, because noting down things never really hurts, right?
Yeah.
So my thinking was, if something is standing out to me,
Yeah.
note it down.
Yeah.
So there are things that you would see maybe repeating throughout the mansion.
Yeah.
You just start noting them down.
Mhm.
And it could be like days later
Yes.
in the real world as well.
Yes.
It could be days
Yeah.
later that you would come across something and go, oh my God, I know exactly what this is.
Yeah.
And I've got all these like
You
noted
go
these
through
things
it
down.
and solve it and be
Yeah.
like, next time I find that room,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
better believe I'm solving
Yes,
that puzzle.
Yes.
It is really, really, if you love puzzle games, this is a great one. I really have been enjoying it. It's also a game where the goal is to find the 46th room in a house with 45 rooms. That is the goal that is given to you. And it's pretty well sort of signaled where it is, like
Yeah.
in terms of
You basically, I think does tell you to get to there was a room called the antechamber.
Yeah.
And it literally says, I think, to get to there.
Yeah.
But also to get to this 46 room.
Yeah.
So really your main first goal is to get to that that antechamber.
Yes. And then like so you know once you fulfilled your objective,
Yeah.
Credits roll, but that's not really the end of the game. In fact, you've kind of unlocked, I would say, the meat of the game.
Yeah, that's what I've heard. And that is the point I'm at now, is like I've just gotten to the room, had the credits roll, and everything I've heard from everyone that's talked about it is like that's just the beginning of the game.
Yes. And it's as Blake mentioned, you kind of take copious notes, and in my case I started taking notes maybe a bit late and in the wrong way.
Yeah. So everyone I've talked to, except for you now, Dick, has been taking just straight up screenshots and using MS Paint in some cases to just like keep track of things. And
I've started doing that. I have a Google Sheets.
Yes, that's a good one
with lots of screenshots in it, and some other information that is written down. But also I've found cases where screenshots are not helpful because of the nature of how the clue is given to you.
Interesting. That's interesting.
So it is interesting. Yes. It's got some meta progression elements. There are areas outside of the house that you can unlock that will give you sort of more passive benefits. And by passive benefits, it's just like you start the day and you have certain resources.
I'm so glad of that, because the first time I unlocked something that seemed like a meta thing, I was like, please tell me I don't have to like do this every time.
Yeah.
And luckily I didn't. And I was like, thank God. It's
I to reinforce my silliness, so if you're listening to this and this sounds like your kind of game, you should maybe tune out soon, if not now, to avoid serious spoilers. Because I think it's going to be an inevitability, given that it's a puzzle game with lots and lots and lots of mysteries to solve, that we're going to touch on some spoilers.
Yeah. I mean, we were talking before the podcast, and there was like we've all gotten past the credit, getting to the credits, and there was stuff that some of us had found that others hadn't, and like
Blake's bragging because he found something I hadn't.
Oh, I
hadn't found it either.
I had to leave the room because these two were talking about something that I didn't want spoiled.
True.
Yep.
That's true. But so yeah, I would say this is probably a good time to maybe tune out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because we're gonna probably enter. Unless are there other things we should address? The game's good. It's a puzzle game. You should play it. If you want to play it, stop listening.
Yeah, I think so. I think we could potentially approach it as like spoilers up to endgame and then endgame afterwards as different phases or something. Or do you just want to go?
I kind of want to just talk about
go
all
where
the
the
stuff.
conversation-
There's so many things. Okay, well, I'll start with a really basic one. Okay.
Is it spoilers from here?
I think some spoilers, but they're probably
spoilers
going to get
ahead.
They're going to get
Spoilers.
more and more spoilery.
Yeah.
I think. So
And I might
Just
have to
go
leave
by-
the room again.
yes.
If you haven't played it,
go get it.
buy the game.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
so
it's really
good.
good. Yeah.
It's really good. So touching on what Blake is talking about with the good meta progression stuff. There's like an outside room that you can draft every day.
Yes.
You know what we're talking about?
Yep.
So sometimes you can make it a bomb shelter kind of thing. You can make it a tool shed, a shrine, all these things. And the way you get there is you unlock the garage door.
Yep.
And there might be multiple ways to do it. I know of at least one.
I only know of that one.
I might be able to provide power to it as well. I'm not sure.
Maybe.
Oh wait, there's another. Okay, so the way I did it, I went to the breaker and
Yeah, that's the easy way. But I think the boiler room.
oh yeah,
Also-
the boiler room just seems like a pain in the ass to
The
me.
boiler room does a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
It has a lot of interactions.
Yeah.
Some of which I have still not found, and some of which
yeah.
to properly utilize them is going to be really, really, really annoying.
And some of them you set them up, and then you like the reward is just like a key, and you're like, that took
Yeah.
what
There's-
a waste.
There's one. Well, we'll get to it, but so you unlock the garage door and you can go outside and you can go into this special room and it's like awesome. I did not open the gate the first time I did that.
Oh no!
Oh no!
You didn't
And
follow, you
so-
didn't notice that there was.
Oh, I saw it, but I was worried that like I honestly don't know why I didn't do it. And in fact,
You might have gone and made a room
I
and
did.
then just
and then I went
forgot.
straight back into the
Yeah,
garage.
just went straight back in.
So the second time I did, I was like, I bet I could open that gate and gain access to it. And now that problem has occurred multiple times for me.
Oh, really?
The boiler room puzzle.
Yeah.
You don't have to solve that every time. You can only solve that once, and then all you have to do is turn one little crank.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
the
yeah.
boiler room is solved forever.
Yeah.
And I didn't know that, and I solved that multiple times.
Oh.
Right.
So like I would go in that room, and I'd be like, ugh, this one again. And I would do the whole puzzle, and then I would like, but it would be like in a weird starting state. So I'd
Yeah,
be
because it
extra
would be in the
confused.
in that last
You're like
state that you left
undoing all of it
Yeah,
being solved
yes.
and then solving it again.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that
But you must have seen that the things that you turned were all on green.
Yeah, the doors are open and
I don't know. I can't explain my brain. I just know I had to solve
Well,
it multiple
to be
times.
fair, the amount of things like you are generally doing the same things over
Yes.
and over. So
Yes, like
yeah,
like the parlor room puzzle you do every time, and it's a different puzzle every time. And the billiards room is a different
yeah.
puzzle every time.
The parlor room puzzle. I'm
I have not a great hit rate with that one. No, I'll be
I
honest.
was doing really well, but like the last
It starts getting weird, and I was like,
the last few times I'm
only-
like, you know what? I just can't even think. I'm just gonna do it randomly, and I've done that randomly the last
I
few
think if
times.
you're like a programmer, that thing is like very straightforward.
Yeah,
But probably true. But there are cases where it's like, okay, if these are all false, then that one's true, then that has to be the box. And I check it and it's empty. I'm like, okay, great.
they are fun. I did enjoy them, but like, yeah, I got to a point where it's like I've done so many of them, I kind of just don't want to put the brain power into it anymore, and just like pick randomly and hope for the best.
I don't mind solving it. I'm just apparently not that good at solving.
Yeah.
I'm all right with that one.
I'm very good at the billiards one. And in fact, I
Yeah, the Billy one's fine.
solved the billiards one before they gave me information about.
Oh,
how to
really?
solve it.
Yeah, so did I.
Yes.
Ah, wait.
I was like-
oh no, I did too. Yeah.
I was like, blue. Okay, well, blue feels like it solved a couple. I was like, blue is addition. Got it.
Yeah.
And yellow. Okay, yellow's probably subtraction. And then
Yeah,
where
I-
it started getting weird was when the square appeared.
Yeah, that was.
Have you had the
weird.
square
I'm not
period
at a
yet?
square. What the hell is that?
Mm-hmm. And
That's
then the
weird.
square starts changing colors.
Okay, that's weird.
Yeah,
Yeah, that one threw me for a loop, but I still you get through it. I like that one because you can power through.
yeah. It's really clear when you've got it right and when you haven't.
Mm-hmm.
You can
Yeah.
figure out what's going
Try
on.
again.
My favorite type of puzzle though is so the what's that room called with the Christmas safe? I can never remember.
The boudoir.
The boudoir.
Hmm.
That is my favorite type of puzzle, where it's like literally just
Here's a
All
here's
the
a clue for
information's
a
on
all
the
the
thing
task.
in
information is
room.
there, and it lit
Taskmaster, thank you.
Yeah, and it literally just like you are required to think about it as if like you have just gotten this safe, and it's like, what's the pin that I would put for it? Oh, this is the day I got it. It's so I really like that.
I was just telling the guys before the podcast that I found that clue and I went to the study and I tried solving it, and I tried that in the office, and I tried all these different places because I did not realize the boudoir had a safe. I must have been through that room about 10 or 12 or 15 times before I actually noticed that there was a safe in that
You
room.
just got to go around.
It was-
Well, I saw it.
That
from
one
the-
is sneaky.
It's
I definitely went through that room like I
it's
did
just behind the
discover it.
board.
Yeah.
You just
Well,
look a little bit further
To
afield.
be fair, I did not find the safe until the second time I found that room. And I was just like, all right, I'm staring at this picture.
Yeah.
And then I realized, like, okay, so I realized whereabouts in the room it was. And I realized,
Wow.
oh, it's behind, it's like
Yeah.
there's that, like, divider thing there. And
Yeah.
I was like, oh, I'll walk over there. And then, oh,
Yeah.
there it is. Like,
So,
I had a very similar thing. Here's a very, very similar
Yeah.
thing with the, this is skipping ahead a bit, but the foundation where you go down into the basement section.
yes.
I'd been down there probably 3 times.
Yes.
And only on like the 4th time did I discover there's an actual puzzle.
The first time I made it down there, I was like, I am exploring every inch of this place. I did the whole puzzle. I noticed the green flashing light straight away.
Oh yeah, sure, I saw that, but I'm just like, how do you get there? I
Yeah.
seem to be boxed in completely, 100%. And
Yeah.
I
I made it out of the boxy area, and then I was like, okay, so you can push these things.
yeah.
And I was like, oh, I think this is a traversal puzzle.
Hmm.
And I solved it pretty quick.
Like it was pretty great. It was pretty fun to solve, but so infuriating that
Yeah.
I did not even notice that you could interact with anything in that room until like the 4th time I went down there, where I just kind of went down there out of fun because I was like, I got to the thing was
Yeah.
I'll just go down here and check again
Yep.
for the fourth time.
There is at least one or two things. I don't know how much you've done down there.
I've
You've moved the bookshelf, obviously.
yeah.
Yeah. Have you broken through a wall?
No, I saw that there was a wall at the back that I figured, oh, I'd probably come from the other side,
Yep.
but like I haven't come.
It's a little shortcut. It's fantastic.
Yeah.
There's a third thing down there,
Oh,
at least that I've
interesting.
found. But I won't say anything else because it sounds like
Wait, there was
all of you.
wait, wasn't there? Wasn't there a
potentially
something there?
red door?
red door. There is a red door separately to that.
Okay.
The red door is in the tunnel though, right? Unless we're talking about different things.
Oh, were you? I was just talking about underground area in general.
Yeah. So the red door, I think you're talking about is you go down a big metal tube,
Yeah.
right? And then there's a, and I only noticed this after my third or fourth time during that journey. I was like, oh, there's another path here.
Oh wait,
Okay.
is there? Oh
Okay.
damn! I only
So
went down
if
there
you're
once.
not-
I didn't.
You're not talking about red door. You're talking about there being 3 things in that basic underground area.
Yes, just in the basement.
Yeah. I mean, there's the
I might be missing one.
Okay.
there was something on
no,
a
I'm not.
bench. Is that what you're talking about?
No,
No.
no.
What was
Although
there?
there
was
might be
like-
that
there-
might be another
there,
thing.
there was like a book or something there. I can't remember. Or
there
a
was
piece
like
of paper.
there was a
or-
note.
Yeah,
and
I think
a
it was
card.
just a note.
That and I don't know if that card is relevant to anything yet. So this
Oh
is,
yes, there was that. Which is what the what is that?
okay. So
That's
there's
weird.
there is a moonshine smuggling storyline.
Oh yes, I've kind
Yes,
of
and
like
that's
pieced
part
that
of that.
together. Yeah.
But
Oh,
whether or
okay.
not there is something more extensive
Mm.
about that, I don't yet
Yeah.
know.
that is
I
that
might
is
still
fun.
be missing something down there. I don't remember the card.
If you go when you're doing the traversal puzzle,
Mm.
if instead of going towards the green light, you go to the other side, there's like a little stairway down to a table with a lamp and some information.
I definitely looked there.
Yeah.
Mm.
And
I just don't
the
remember that. Maybe.
card is for like some specific address, and there's a time written on it.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's relevant at all yet.
I don't know. I mean, took a screenshot of it, so it's there.
But if you're doing if you do the car, like the garage thing, and you get the car keys,
Car keys, front
find a
seat.
note. Yes, and it talks about
I do like
going to the meeting.
I do
spot.
like that little mini story where because you first find a note from is it the actual owner, like your uncle, who was like saying about the driver going off on his own and being like
No,
Oh,
that's
like
from
the
the
driver-
maid.
from Anne Babbage.
Babbage.
yeah,
Yeah.
who the driver has apparently just been mysteriously going
Yeah.
off and saying like, look, could you stop
Yeah.
drive like going on joyride or whatever? And he discovered later that it's like, oh, he's been smuggling like
Moonshine. Yes,
It's really good.
He's a moonshine runner.
Yeah, it's really fun.
Yeah, it's good stuff. There's a few other little storylines going on,
Mm.
which I
There's
quite
a whole
like.
backstory that I'm piecing together with the books and like a missing person and like I don't.
Have you found the history of Orinda?
Oh, actually, here's the thing. Yes, I have, and I've screenshotted them all, and I've not read it because
Was
it's
it-
like a lot of books.
Was it the censored version or the uncensored version?
It might have been censored. I don't remember.
Mm.
The censored one is much easier to get than the uncensored.
Yes.
Ah,
The censored one, I
interesting.
think, is just in the library, right?
Yep.
Yeah,
Just-
no, it is. Yeah.
But
yeah.
have you been to the bookstore yet?
Have I been to the... No.
Okay, so
No.
I'm gonna give you a little bit of spoilery information to make it easier for you,
Ah.
because this is a thing you can only discover kind of through a different room, which you might not have yet. Which is the bookstore is only available to be drafted when you're drafting through the library.
Oh, okay.
So you need to you need to have a library.
Yeah, but
you
this
need
is-
to be
this
in a
is-
library.
This is like the RNG that I don't like.
Yes,
where it's like, okay, you
It's
have to-
very common
it's
in
very
the library.
common
really.
if
Yeah.
you're in the library. So you need to have some
I've-
rerolls,
I've drafted in the library loads of times and never seen
and that's the RNG.
or rather than
Hmm.
I have seen it and just not picked it and just forgotten that it was even an option.
yeah,
That
or you might not
been-
have had room.
Yeah, that's true. I might not have.
Like
a
you
room.
might have gotten.
I mean, I've been in
might
the
have been
library a lot. I think the case would have been I had probably seen it
Yeah.
as a pick and then chose not to pick it,
Yeah.
and then I'd completely forgotten that was even.
It's
It
certainly
is a
possible.
corner turn, which
Right.
is somewhat annoying.
Yeah.
Those pieces are hard to
Yeah.
line up the right way.
But bookstore has a bunch of different books in it. One of them is one I want to talk about
Oh.
because have you had a new Clue book?
No, I have it, or I've bought it.
Yeah. And you haven't found it yet.
The library is going to have
Dude.
it on my next stay.
Dude, that was my wall. That was my brick wall. I got that book and I realized there's a massive amount of information in here, and I do not even know what to do with it. And it is
Oh
it is-
no!
That's great.
it is the kind of puzzle where this is the kind of puzzle where my brain starts checking out,
Right.
and like I haven't really had a chance to sit down and really try and
Mm.
like crack it or anything. But it's with the information that the book gives you to solve the information in the book.
Mm.
I'm like, oh boy, is- I'm gonna need to really sit down and,
Oh boy.
and
Yep,
like
yep.
There
work with it.
been a few rooms or overall puzzles where I have just sat there for like an hour, maybe longer, just
Can I guess
thinking
one of them?
about it. Yeah,
Gallery.
gallery.
Yes, I solved it. But it was
So-
one where I solved it. Sorry, go ahead.
I solved it. I accidentally spoiled myself for it though, so I
Okay.
kind of ruined.
Interesting.
Which one's the gallery? Is that
Gallery has 4 pictures in it. And it took me ages to
I don't
find
think
it.
I've seen it.
It's quite rare. I've seen it twice now.
Ah.
The first time I solved 3 out of the 4. There's 4 pictures in it.
Yeah.
And the objective is to name the pictures.
Oh, interesting. Are they pictures of specific people?
No,
No.
they are sort of like
Just
surreal,
abstract sort of
surreal,
yeah.
surreal
Ah,
art.
okay.
And
Weird.
then there's like a nameplate, and
Hmm.
next to each picture is a number of letters, and you can select letters to go in those like little letter slots.
Yeah.
And you
Ah.
select the letters that go in those letter slots, but not every letter of the alphabet is available.
Right.
So it
Huh.
kind of narrows down your options to some
Hmm.
degree, but not really to a degree that
That helps.
helps you
Yeah.
a lot. But I now we're getting to spoiler territory.
Mm.
I did 3 of them, and I got stumped on the last one. And I sent Paul a screenshot of it. And I was like, I have no idea what this is. And then I went inside, and I had figured out that there was a pattern in the solutions.
Hmm.
So I was thinking about it, and I talked to my wife about it, and I was like, I'm just gonna look up synonyms of a specific word. And then because I knew I put together a bunch of connections about the picture.
Hmm.
And then as soon as I saw the synonyms, I was like, I know what this is. And
Yeah.
it took me ages and ages to actually get back to the room to just verify that was true. And it was. And then in between then, it was multiple real life days where my wife would say, did you make it back to the room? I
Yeah. Yeah.
was like, not yet.
That's how that's the thing that frustrates me
Yeah,
sometimes. Like,
totally
yeah.
get it.
Yeah.
But it's the rogue life.
Mm.
It's the rogue life.
Well, it's the rogue life.
That's the rogue life, baby.
We were talking earlier about the dark room.
Yes.
And that is one for me that very early on you realize you know what you need to do.
Yes.
And what you need to do it, and then you are basically doing these runs,
yeah.
hoping that what you need, the rooms, and the item that you need shows up.
Yeah.
Right.
I
so
do.
first you need a magnifying glass, and
Yep.
then you need the dark room, and then you need a way to deactivate the dark room.
Yeah.
And it took me, like multiple, like you were saying, real world days
Yep.
for those things to like line up, and I'd
Yep.
almost done it several times where it's like I was just a few steps away
Mm.
from being able to reach the dark room with the
Mhm.
magnifying glass, with
Yeah.
it like deactivated, and it was
Yeah.
just that. That was
rough.
really frustrating me and then I realized, like, you know what, I'm just gonna not try, and just go through the game and figure other stuff out, and then eventually, like, these things,
I
The-
think you
aligned.
have to play the game that way.
yeah,
Yes.
If you're just setting out to try and accomplish one goal,
yeah,
you're going to have a bad time.
That's-
yeah.
But if you
Also-
have all the bits
Mm.
that you're trying to chip away at,
Mm,
when the opportunity arises, you can actually go and do that thing.
yeah, and then that's exactly how it happened. It was
Mm.
just like I drafted a Fallout shelter, and then I got a magnifying glass somewhere, and I was like, oh wow,
Yep.
I'm like, this, if I get a dark room, this is gonna be it, and then that was it.
That is true. It's one of the things I actually really like about that game
Mm.
is there are so many different puzzles going on
Yeah.
in the background
Yeah,
that you can kind of pursue a lot of different
Yeah.
avenues
yep.
Mm.
in any individual run.
The worst time I had was trying to reach the antechamber early on, where I'm like, okay, I'm just trying to get to the end,
Yeah.
you know, like before I really started
Mhm.
chipping away at other things. And I was getting kind of frustrated. And then
Yeah.
I was like, hang on, I'm playing this game wrong. I'm going to choose to unlock rooms I haven't seen before.
Yeah.
Going to start looking for things and trying to solve some of these other things. And
Yeah.
then that entire game flipped.
Yeah.
Did you
interesting.
make it so? Like the first few days, when you actually get to connect to the antechamber and you realize I can't actually get in,
Mm.
right? Like that is a pretty clear signal that okay, there's something else going on.
Yeah, I did that twice, I think, before I
Yeah.
was like, oh, hang on.
You're like, well, maybe from this direction.
Yeah, that's
I-
exactly what happened.
I opened up the antechamber before I ever reached it.
Really?
Oh, really?
That's incredible.
Yeah.
Well, you can
There's
fluke it. There's multiple
a bunch
ways
of different
to,
ways.
yeah.
There's a bunch of different ways. And
Like I literally didn't know how, because it does. There are like things that legit just tell you how to do it.
Yeah.
Hmm.
But the first time I opened it, yeah, it was totally by fluke. I just like drafted. I think it was the hallway,
the Great Hall.
the Great Hall,
Yeah.
and I tried a door and I was like, oh, what's this lever? Oh
Yeah.
my god.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think mine might have been the Secret Garden.
Yeah. Yep.
Which, if you're talking about the frustration of the dark room, the Secret Garden has some stuff going on,
Oh yeah.
and
I've only done that once, and
the book I mentioned earlier, the A New Clue book,
yeah.
is one of the worst cases of I need a few elements lining up.
Oh boy.
because
Yeah.
in addition to all of the things you need for making whatever information is in that book valuable to you, you need to have the book available.
Mm.
Oh yeah.
Which in the library is not a given.
Yeah.
You have to have done that. You have to have it lined up for the next run that you draft the
You
library
need
in.
the actual book.
Well,
Or-
if you
or-
want the information in the book, you have to be able to
you
look
mean
at it.
you mean like if you're not taking screenshots? Of the
Yeah,
book.
yeah.
This
but-
is why I think the game just just expects
but
you to
even
take
if you
screenshots.
are taking screenshots, you need certain things.
Right.
Anyway, there are some bits of information I have, and I have no clue yet what to do with this. I think it might be part of a meta puzzle, but I'm not sure yet.
Do you want to say what?
Sure.
bits
Okay.
you've
So
got?
the first bit of information I got is in a room I'm not sure either of you have. It is an external room. It is solved. You unlock it by solving the puzzle in the laboratory
Oh yeah, I've not done the laboratory.
that requires power.
Yeah. I've only drawn the laboratory once,
Oh.
and I had no power to it. So
I did that earlier today. I haven't been in there yet, though.
Yeah. So you go in there,
But I thought that was... No, carry on.
and there's a few puzzles in there, sort of.
Mm.
I solved one of them, and got access to a bunch of information, and then but that was one that I had been working towards for a while, and it didn't really actually progress. The other one of the other puzzles, one of the other two puzzles in there, when you go in there, and this is not really a big spoiler, there's a post-it note stuck to one of the walls, and it's I'm telling you straight up what it is because I don't think it's really a spoiler. You're gonna probably unlock this room at some point, and
I've
this is
for
like
sure unlocked it. I just actually haven't been in there
Yeah.
because I thought I'd been on the other side of that door already. I'm almost certain I have.
I'm very curious because I don't know how you would have
Okay.
gotten there, but you might have. I just don't know.
There are a lot of places in the game you can get to in more than one way.
Yes, this is true. What? Well, we'll talk about that in a sec. But this is not really focused about what's on the other side of the door. Maybe it is. I don't know. But I'd be very surprised given what I think you need to open up that door from the side that I was on.
Yeah.
But the post-it note is a capital I, and then a space below that, and then another capital I, and then directly below that is an O, and directly below that is another O. That's what's on the post-it note. I, gap, I, O, O.
Weird.
Yes, very,
Okay.
very weird. And I had no idea what this was. I thought maybe this is information about switches. Like I and O can be
On and
viewed
off.
as
Yeah.
on and off. And I was like,
Then what's
maybe
the space?
the
then,
breakers?
like-
Well, the if you look at the breaker, maybe because there's a group of three, so one has to be on and two have to be off, or one and then there's like a couldn't tell you. Then have you got the swimming pool
Mhm.
Yes.
and have you done the locker room?
Yes.
Oh, I had the
Uh,
locker room once, but I haven't.
You ran out of keys.
Yeah.
I've cleared the locker room a few times.
Yeah.
Because there's a few ways to get
I
massive amounts
cleared
of
it
keys.
once, but I didn't find much interesting in there. I don't
Well,
think.
I discarded one of these things because I was like, that's just a weird sort of scrap of paper that's kind of related to the classroom, and it says you may have seen this piece of paper. It says 6 or O.
Yes, I have that.
I realized that is in the same alignment as the I.
Oh,
Ah.
weird.
And so I'm like, this is something.
Yeah.
And so then I started. I've got this sort of half-assembled thing where it says 6 or O, and there's an I above it, and I don't know what that means. But that's not the only one.
Yeah.
Have you seen the kennel?
No, what?
I had the opportunity to unlock it, but I unlocked something else.
Okay, there's a scrap of paper in the kennel, and it's a very
It's the
cute little
same?
picture. It's a cat standing on a couple of toy bricks, and it's the toy bricks it's on are on A and a T, and it's reaching for another toy brick with a T with a C on it, and it's real cute. And I'm
Yeah.
like, what is that? I don't know what that is. And then I realized maybe that's another part of this thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Strange.
But it doesn't fit with the existing one.
Yeah.
And then I find, have you done the cloister?
Yes.
It's a
Which
it's
one
a-
is the cloister?
It's a green room, 4 entrances. If you have been in the solarium, there's a clue to.
No, I haven't.
Basically, it's like there's like a little. It's like a little spot of grass with a statue in the middle.
Oh, yes, I have been in the cloister, but
Hmm.
like I
There's
don't.
like some digging spots
Yeah,
in
yeah,
there.
yeah. I don't remember any puzzle in there.
Well, you can get inside of the little square.
Yeah, well,
part.
that's what I figured, but like I was just like, there's no way.
Have you
in
been
for
inside the
here.
square part?
Yeah, you find a hint how
Yeah.
to get in there.
Yes. And if you look around the back of the statue, you find a little note and there's a little
Mm.
allowance thing. It's great.
Yeah,
It's awesome.
I think I didn't actually spend very long in there because I was
Sure,
on my way to something else. I think.
Here's the thing: I didn't notice it the first like 10 times I went in there
Yeah.
because whenever I'm in there, I just kind of scope out the grassy part. Why not? There's something on the back of the statue.
Mm.
Have you noticed that?
No, I don't think so.
Is it? It's a C and a space and an X, and then a whole gap, and then like an X and a space and a T.
Oh, so is it
Oh, so you're
slotting?
trying to. Okay, I
Are
see.
you slotting those like things in there then or something?
No.
Like, what do you what?
This is just letters and spaces,
What?
and I'm starting to realize this is some sort of message.
Mm.
Probably 3 letters long for each line.
Yeah.
Maybe 4. I don't know yet. But I have 2 scraps of
And you're just
possibly
like,
2
what is this?
different messages, and
Yeah.
I've compiled multiple parts of it, and I do not know what any of it means yet.
Yeah. That's so cool.
That's fun.
That's so cool.
And this is one that has spanned 4 different rooms, and some of them require multiple solutions from other rooms
Yeah.
to gain access to those rooms at all.
Wow.
Yeah.
So
Those-
this is
I really, really like that about it. That like the further you go, the more things point back to other things,
Yes.
and like sometimes it can be annoying because it's starting to like really hint at things you've already solved.
yes,
but-
yep.
Sometimes it also comes in very, very handy.
Yep. There's bits of there's also little phrases I found that I still have no idea for. There's one I kind of have an idea for the relevance vaguely, but I don't know how to apply it. Have you been to the root cellar?
Yeah.
There's a note in there
Hmm.
about
What is the note? I
fi-
can't remember.
it's like a handwritten note that says you haven't found all the signs or something like that.
Oh
right?
yeah.
You
Yeah.
know what I'm talking about?
Yep.
Have you seen that there's something written in pencil below that?
Yes.
XYZ ABC.
Yep.
I think I know what the relevance of that is, but I don't yet know how to apply
That's
it.
on my try to figure out what the fuck it's for list.
Yep. There's another one which is in the schoolhouse.
Mm.
On the whiteboard, very faintly written, is in a timely manner, but MANOR.
Hmm.
Ah,
I don't know what that means.
Yeah.
Do you know what that means?
no. Oh, maybe.
Really? I am very curious because this is actually relates more broadly to the game as a whole. I did not know that Blue Prince was a pun for blueprints.
Oh, really? Well, you know what's funny is that
That,
really
I
long
love. I didn't get that until the end, and I
oh,
loved
what?
it. It is so like.
So I didn't realize this because I've been seeing streamers playing this, right?
Ah,
And I'd
okay.
just seen it spelt out, Blueprints. And I was like, oh, yeah, whatever this game
Yeah.
is, Blueprints.
Yeah.
I'd never heard it spoken until at work. Someone was, are you playing Blueprints? And I was like Blueprints? Like
Mm.
plans? And they're like, no, Blueprint. And I was like, oh my God.
Yeah,
I was like,
my wife was like, "Oh, the first time you said it, I thought you said blueprints."
Yeah.
And so, but now I realize you're talking
Yeah.
about blueprints, and I was like, "No, blueprints." And she's like, "Yeah, blueprints."
yeah,
And I was
it's
like,
really,
"Oh,
it's a really neat, it's a really cool thing.
Anyway, so there's like lots of little puns in the game, as far as I can tell.
yeah.
Mm.
So yeah, someone was telling me who was playing it, saying that there was something they figured out that they didn't realize until they spoke it out loud, very much
Yeah.
like
Yeah,
Blueprints. But I'm like, so now when I read everything, I'm basically like, thinking it out loud,
Yeah.
and I'm like, I still haven't stumbled
There's-
across anything that's actually done that.
There's some hinting around that, and I haven't figured out the application of that yet.
Hmm.
But there are some things I have yet to solve because I need a specific item in a specific
Right.
room.
Oh yeah. This
Um,
is where it gets tedious.
Well,
I
one of
think.
them is really, really, really annoying
Oh no.
because it's an advanced item
Oh, what, do you have to craft it?
craft it.
Oh god, yeah, I haven't crafted any
And-
items. Like,
and it's in an external room.
oh jeez.
So I have to have the right external room.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is it's troubling.
Yeah, this is.
Have
this
you
is
done
where
that
it
one?
gets a bit annoying.
You know what I'm
Uh,
talking about?
yeah, I know what you're talking about. I haven't done it.
I haven't
But
done it either. But I've
um,
used that for other
I know
things.
what's there.
Oh, okay.
There's other hints around as to what that gets you.
Really?
Yep.
Okay. Oh.
So I have a question here.
Yeah.
I don't know if either of you can answer it.
Yeah.
But when is the game done?
Over?
Over.
Okay. That
Right?
I think I can't answer that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
So
think-
so when you first gain access to the 46th room,
Mm.
the thing you have to do pull is like a lever, right? It's deep underground. You have to go through this big blue tunnel,
Oh yeah.
and in the room with the lever, what do you see?
Oh, a bunch of other doors.
Yeah.
But you can't interact with them.
No, you can't until you have the keys.
Oh.
Those, so spoiler, sanctum keys.
Oh right. I see.
So-
So that's what those. Yeah.
There are 8 sanctum keys,
Yeah.
and there's a little note I think in the 46th room. If you make it back there,
Well, that's also something that annoyed me. Is that it just
you
ended
go
the
in there
day?
and end of the game.
Yeah, and I'm like, so I got to go all the way back.
Yeah.
Like, come on.
Yeah, I agree.
I thought I 100% expected it to come back and I would be in the room.
right.
But it's like, nope, start again.
again.
And I was just like, I
I
haven't played.
expected the opposite, and I went and made sure I went around and did a whole bunch of stuff. But I was like, I'm scared I'm going to run out of steps. So like,
Oh yeah.
still kept it safe. Went back in there and it ended, and I was like, phew.
I was a bit annoyed that like I didn't go back in. I had reached that access to that room a bunch
Yeah.
of times before I decided to go back in again a second time and discovered, oh, there's a bunch of important information
Yeah.
here and a sanctum key in here.
Well, that's what I.
Yeah,
that's
that
my,
annoyed me.
That's my
I-
goal next time I play is just to get back to that room.
Yeah.
Because I was like
No,
all excited to see what was in this room. And,
that room itself has multiple other puzzles in it,
Right.
Mm.
and one of them is this sort of 8 doors thing, and each of those doors has its own
That's neat.
puzzle or multiple puzzles
Yeah,
inside
that's
of
cool.
there. So there's a bunch of stuff going on. That's why
Mm.
people talk about it being sort of the bulk of the game after the credits.
Mm.
Those 8 doors are the bulk of the game, I
Right.
think.
Hmm.
And the sort of lore and information surrounding those doors.
Right.
But boy, there's just so many bits of information I have, and I have no idea how to apply it. And there's bits
So
of
weird.
information I have, I know how to apply it,
Yeah.
and I don't know where to apply it.
Well, this.
Or-
What's really weird is I think I know how to open all of those doors. I've only done 2 so far.
Yeah.
But I don't think what you're talking about applies
To any of them.
Yeah.
I agree.
Strange.
I agree.
Yep.
And
Could be
that's what
something-
makes it weird,
Yeah.
because I don't know what it applies to. And then there's also a third thing that you guys don't know about yet, because Paul hasn't been in that room yet.
Oh.
But I can tell you if you want. You'll find out as soon as you get in there. Do you want to know?
Yeah, go on.
That room has a microchip in it and 2 other microchip slots. And I don't know where the other microchips are.
Okay. I haven't been in there.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure you need all 3 microchips to open up the back door for that. So, I'm curious why you think that you've been on the other side of that door.
Well,
What do you think is on the other side of that door?
spoilers.
Spoilers, obviously.
Well, I thought it was where that chess puzzle was.
The chest puzzle.
Chess.
Oh, chess. No.
Or like
Because
another room.
when you're running along through there,
Mm,
you see the back of what looks like a door, and it looks like the
Yes.
same door.
yes.
So
know
when
that.
I opened the other side, I
Mm.
went, "Oh, that's just the other side of this. I won't
Mm.
even like go in there yet."
Right. No, I know what that other door is.
Okay.
It's a different thing.
Right.
I can tell you if you want. Or
Nah, it's okay.
So yeah, you have not been
Hmm.
to the other side of that room.
Right.
Have you? How much have you done with the pump?
Oh, so all I did was drain the fountain.
Yeah.
I see that you could drain the pool,
Yes.
but I haven't. My worry is if I drain, like, is the fountain going to refill? Because I like that.
That access point.
Yeah.
Yeah. It does refill.
Yeah. I want to.
And there are other ways to get in there, as you know.
Yeah.
There's
Yeah, but that's the one that's like, that's the way that is the most accessible.
yes.
And now that I've opened up the whole thing, it's just that's the one way I need to go.
I have
I never use that.
the fountain access.
Yeah, no way.
What do you use? The foundation?
Uh
Or is it other?
yeah, that or the
Well,
side.
also, I think it would depend on where.
Path. Is that the
the
one
wall.
through the wall in the basement?
Yeah.
Oh, right. I think it would depend on where the foundation is on yours because mine is like pretty far in.
Right. Mine's only like 4 up.
Yeah, mine's pretty far.
And
Mine's like
no,
almost at
it's
the end.
5 up. And what
Mine-
I discovered recently was that if I brick my start, you can get back there and go and
Yes.
start
Oh,
again.
That's right. Mine
Good.
is.
Oh, yeah, good point. You totally can.
Right.
Mine
Just
is
like
rank
Granite Awesome.
7.
Yeah, mine. So is mine.
Ah.
Yeah. So is
So like
mine.
there's a gap between it and the antechamber,
Yep.
and
Same.
that is a blessing and a curse.
Yep.
Because most of those doors are locked.
Mm.
I
do. Yeah, I didn't realize. I don't think I realized it would be like it
permanent.
does. It does say it would be.
Is
permanent,
it in the
but I
center
didn't-
for you?
No, it's slightly off.
Oh,
to
mine's in the
side.
center. See,
Mine's 1 in.
wow, that's so interesting. Because when
Wait.
you drafted it, did you realize it was going to be drafted there permanently? Because I didn't.
No, but I'd already found a hint that you needed to be able to access the back of it.
Where?
Don't remember.
Yeah, I've
'Cause
never seen.
I
a hint
didn't see that, and
that
it
was just by accident.
It was yes.
Yeah.
It was so long before.
Oh,
so
really?
long. It was.
I
10
found that
days,
hint before I
maybe?
even found that.
Wow.
I put the foundation down. I couldn't access it, and I was like, okay, I
think
guess
it
I'll
might have
figure that
been-
out later.
I think it might have
It
been on the
was-
same run that I found the back.
It was so
Yeah.
long. It was so long, and it was
Oh,
so.
wow.
There were so many things where I
Mm.
think I got just unlucky,
Yeah.
or I didn't have the little piece of information I needed, and I
Right.
was. I did my credits run on day 22, but if I had had
Oh,
the right,
really, man? I'm in like day, I think 32 or something for my credits run.
I think I could have done it on like day 15 if I had, maybe even sooner than that.
Well,
if I
I-
had just had a little bit of, if I had known about the.
Well, I have a similar thing because that basement area underneath
Yeah.
there. If I had figured that out the first time I went there,
you'd be,
it would have just. That was like 10
Yeah.
days ago. Probably
Yeah.
that I would have gotten
yeah,
that.
it's funny.
I
Mm.
the first time I went down to the basement
Yeah.
through the tomb,
Yeah,
saw the minecart, and went, feel like I should pull this back.
Yeah.
And then I left, and then later I found the other side, and I was like, glad I did that.
I did the same. I went down through the fountain, right, and you come out somewhere there, and there's a minecart blocking.
Oh, maybe
the
it was
path.
fountain.
Yeah. and it's blocking the path. Yeah,
Yeah.
And then you're just like, well, I can only pull it all the way over here, but
Yeah.
I'm gonna do that anyway. That
Yeah.
feels like something I should set up for later.
I foolishly got the tomb, solved the tomb puzzle,
Mm.
went down, and then didn't click on death.
Oh,
Oh,
right.
really?
I did. To be fair, I spent ages running around there looking for some hidden button or something because I was like, this isn't it.
Well, I saw
There's more here.
the
like-
area that looked like the door, and I'd already found
Yeah.
the map, so I knew
Yeah.
that.
Oh, right. Yeah.
I knew what was on the other side of
Hmm.
that door because I'd already being down
Yeah.
there, and I was like, "Oh, this is a shortcut." But also, that shortcut's not permanent. It's only available when you draft the tomb.
if you draft the tomb, it should. But then, can you come? Because I've not come back through. Is that door just closed?
I actually haven't checked.
I
Yeah.
believe that door closes when you don't have the
Yeah,
tomb.
because if you don't have the tomb, where does it pop out? Unless they create a new room,
It just doesn't.
door somewhere.
It does not. It doesn't exist.
No,
They just shut it
Have
off.
you
I think.
checked?
seems weird.
Yeah, I mean, I
Okay,
went
okay.
downstairs and it was closed. Although maybe I forgot to save or something. I don't know.
Yeah, I was
but-
wondering that because that's like a good.
It's a great shortcut
Yeah.
if you can have it. And there's stuff in the tomb I need to do, but I need to have access to the tomb.
The thing is, when I did hit that deaths thing, it made sense because you were clicking the
Clicking all the
same thing
statues.
on all the statues.
Of course,
Mm.
of course. It was.
Yeah.
Look, this is in line very much with my habit of doing everything but the thing that makes it easier.
Well, yeah, I did the same thing. I ran all over the place clicking on things, and then only after probably like 5 minutes, I just happened to walk up to death and go, I wonder if I can click on the statue, and reached for the exact same thing that I'd clicked
Yeah.
on all the other statues. Oh, of course. What am
Yeah.
I doing?
Yeah.
Um,
Oh dear.
that's a good puzzle where you see the clue for it.
Way ahead.
Yeah, like
way,
like
yeah.
first few days.
Yeah,
and
the chapel you're
that was
looking
one
And
of
you
the
last
look at
time.
it and you're like, I feel like this is important. You try
Yeah.
and figure it out, but you can't piece anything together.
yeah, that was
so you
literally
leave it.
yeah.
You don't take any notes on that one for some reason. Of all the things, you don't.
Yep.
Even though you've and when I got to the tomb, I remembered the sequence because I'd been looking at it so much,
Oh, really?
except for 2,
The farmers.
and then I couldn't.
Was
yeah,
it?
but like
which farmer
if
is?
if you get 2 wrong, you don't know which
yeah.
ones.
I had a very similar. That was one of the first notes I ever made. Was the order of those. But I did the same thing where it was like farmer something, farmer, blah blah blah. And then when I got to the tomb, I was like, "There's 2 farmers," and I was like, "Which one
Yep.
is which?" And I had to just go back into the thing and like draft a bunch until I
Yeah.
got to the thing. Was like, okay, it's a pitchfork and then thing and yeah.
My-
That was great because I was like, finally, this puzzle I've been waiting for because it's been a clue for like the entire run.
Yeah.
I did the entire like run of the game. Yeah.
I started taking notes when I realized that the pairs of paintings in each room were significant
Yes.
and what
Yeah.
the relationship was.
Yeah.
But I hadn't realized the relationship of those to the broader.
Neither did I until just well, I mean, you basically confirmed it for me, but that was my suspicion was like because I had taken all the letters.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
trying to
I have a big list of things still written down somewhere.
I even went to I went online and looked for like a word jumble thing, and I was like, actually no, I went to ChatGPT afterwards and said, "Here's a bunch of letters, make some words."
Hey man, are you prints?
yeah, and it was like it kept giving me something about a cat and directions, and like I was like, all right, give me. And I tried to like get something out of it, but like nothing is happening here. And then, looking back at my notes, I was like, "Oh, maybe it needs to do this." And then you basically just confirmed it for me before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think if you don't get that last little bit of information, it is completely loose.
I think you totally could, because
You'll
after
notice
trying
stability of across rooms with the same pictures in the.
yeah, because
Yeah.
I do notice that certain letters essentially only show up in certain
Yeah.
like heights of depths of it. So
Oh.
I was gonna try and figure that
Right.
like do that, but then after seeing my notes, which I'd taken a screenshot of that thing, I was like, oh yeah, I've already like
You got the information.
I've got the information for it.
The really funny thing about that puzzle is that once you figured it out and you're going back through trying to like collect them all, some of the actual pictures just show you the plan with the exact letter on it in the exact location, and you could have just through looking at the pictures.
Really?
Yeah.
What? Where is this?
The one
Is there a-
that's
Is there a
plan and plant.
Oh.
The plan
Oh, the plan.
shows you.
No way.
Yeah.
I've seen
I
that.
haven't had a look at.
I've
I
seen the
haven't looked
plan.
that
Is
closely
it
at
specifically the plan and plant, or is it just the picture of the plan? Because that shows
Yeah,
up
but
in
that
multiple.
one can show up in a few places,
Yeah.
and like it will show the different
Wow.
thing
That's
in the
Man,
different
that's funny.
place.
I
and
had
if
not.
if you go through it,
Yeah.
you see so many of them, you like take notes or
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah.
But if you kept paying as much attention,
Wow.
you would actually have.
Interesting.
being
That's amazing.
shown that it's
bits and pieces of it
That's
already.
amazing.
yeah.
Have you have you gotten letters?
Stone off the stone.
No. The stone, the thing you're talking about
Yeah.
in the workshop, is that what you're
Yeah.
talking about? That is that room's equivalent of the pictures.
Yeah.
Oh, that room's equivalent of the.
Yes. Well, because there's no pictures in that room.
No.
But if there were pictures in the room,
Oh,
the difference would be that letter.
Yes.
Ah.
That saved me because I had one letter wrong and it completely changed my
Really?
thing. Yeah.
That's
I
funny
wanna-
because I started noting down
what the letters were?
the letters were, and they
Yeah.
were different. I'm like, what is this?
Yeah.
Are these specific stone letters
Yeah.
or something?
No, I'm talking about I've lost the thread.
Oh, you mean red letters?
No, no, I there are those as well. No,
Yeah.
I'm talking in the mailroom.
Oh no.
Oh,
No, I've never had
I think
that
I've only had the
actually start
mailroom
showing
once.
up.
I don't remember what the deal with that
Okay.
was.
So, when you get the laboratory, do you always do an experiment?
I've only had the lab once, and I never had power to it.
You don't need power to it.
I don't know. I only did
Okay.
it once. I don't
This
think I.
this is the computer in the laboratory, right?
Yeah.
And Avery Computer
Oh
has
yes.
some special mechanic.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
And the laboratory special mechanic is you can perform an experiment.
Yes.
And if you one of the possible outcomes of that, like there's a few, you can get like bonus gold, you can make
Mm.
chests appear in the entrance, you can get
Yeah,
bonus allowance,
Actually, I think that's the
Mm.
one I got. Both
Um,
chest in the entrance. Yeah.
you can get extra steps, that kind of thing.
Mm.
One of them is sends a letter to the mailroom.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Have you done that?
No.
I've not successfully.
Okay.
I've had the thing and then not found the mailroom and
I think I got one that was like, whenever you dig up trash, send a letter to the mailroom.
Oh.
And so I got
Ah.
like 10 letters straight away.
Oh, really?
yeah,
Yeah.
that's a good combo.
And they're all different.
Yeah.
Ah,
And they have clues.
cool.
It's mostly, this is like, I think the game's equivalent of a help tool.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And it will fill in a lot of things that you probably already know. and
Yeah.
Things you've already solved.
Yeah.
And it also probably point you in the direction of things you did not know about. So I learned from those letters two very, very important pieces of information.
Mm.
One regarding the weight room,
The weight room.
and one
Mm.
I
regarding
basically avoid that room.
yeah, me too. And one regarding the observatory.
Oh, really?
And like there's lots of
That's
other bits of information, but
Yeah.
these are the two pieces of information I just did not know about.
Ah.
And in fact, one of the pieces of information also helped me use the room that Paul just unlocked properly. And I don't know how far Paul will get without it. So
Interesting.
seek out letters.
Yep.
It's cool.
Yeah. This game, man.
There's a lot going on.
There's so much, and it's so much fun exploring and looking back through things that you've looked through a bunch of times and realizing that there's
Yeah.
something there that you hadn't realized before.
Yep.
or-
Boy. There's so many rooms also I still have not been able to draft because they're part of the drafting
yeah.
room. Like
Yeah.
they're part of the thing where you
Yeah.
unlock them. So like I think I just unlocked the casino.
Yeah, I just got that this
Oh,
morning.
I don't know what happens in there.
Mm.
I haven't unlocked the dormitory.
Are there any rooms that you have had for ages that you've never drafted?
Actually, I'm not sure at this point.
It tells you in the book in the library if you've
Oh
not
yeah,
actually
Yeah.
picked
I
one.
know a room that I have seen multiple times and
What
never
room?
drafted. The furnace.
Mm,
Never drafted it.
yeah,
Well, I mean, I've seen it, but not drafted, like not
That-
played it.
there are scenarios where I think a furnace will make your run incredible
Hmm.
because you might want as many red rooms as possible.
Hmm.
Yeah.
But there are workarounds for that, and also I'm at a point where I need a furnace, but
Mm.
I need another room right next to it,
Oh my god.
and
Oh,
I'm
God.
pretty sure I need power
Oh
to the
my
furnace.
God. Yep. Yep.
So I'm like, I'm in
Interesting.
a pickle
Yeah.
because we're
I've-
getting to late stage trickiness here.
Mm.
Yeah, I've powered the furnace, and all I got out of it was a key. It was just a
Okay.
basic bitch key. I
Yeah.
was like, it was an entire waste of a power thing just to see what happened.
Sure.
Did you have to use the part of, what is it, the
Boiler
not-
room.
the boiler room to do it?
Yeah.
I don't know if I should tell you the thing I'm trying to do.
Yeah, maybe not.
Yeah,
this
maybe
sounds
not.
like
It's
something
way
I
too
want to figure
advanced.
out.
Yeah.
Yeah. But there are more interactions going on than I had initially
Mm.
thought. Have you got the gift shop?
No. Oh wait, which is the
The
gift shop?
souvenir shop, right?
Yeah, the souvenir shop. That's the one.
Is that the one with the
Mount Holly souvenir shop.
Oh no, okay. I haven't.
There's there's new modes you can unlock
Mm.
in there. I think I was 1 coin away from buying it.
Oh, there's one really, really annoying thing about this game that the trophies.
Yeah.
So in that shop,
Yeah,
there's a thing you can only buy
yeah,
if you have 8 trophies.
yeah.
And one of those trophies is to because after you've beaten the game, you
Yeah.
look on the left and there's a
Yep.
sheet of paper that tells you what the trophies are.
That's right.
One of them is to beat the game in a day,
Yeah.
Oh.
which is just like I don't like that being part of the core thing. It's
Yeah.
cool as an achievement, but if there's something you can only buy if you've got 8 trophies,
Yeah.
and you're supposed to just start your entire save over again to not.
There is a workaround.
Oh, is there?
There is a workaround.
Okay.
And I won't say anything else.
Hmm.
Yeah. Okay.
But I haven't done it. But I know how it can be done.
Right. Because that just I'm not starting my entire game
No,
over
of
again.
course not.
No.
And I'm not even sure. I haven't tried starting a new game. I don't know if it just immediately overwrites, or if there's multiple profiles.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Neither, and I'm not willing to
Yeah,
find
wanna
out.
risk it.
I'm
Yeah.
day 36 or something,
Yeah.
and I've put a lot of
Got-
time
got a
into
lot of
this.
stuff.
I'm not gonna.
Well,
Hmm.
what a game, huh?
Yeah.
Do we want to talk about the hard mood shift of the fortune teller guy?
Yeah.
That was the coolest to me.
I've only
I've seen
three of
two.
his videos.
Yeah, I've seen
Yeah.
3 as well.
Okay, I've only seen 2, but man, what a tone shift when you
Yeah.
first activate him.
Yeah.
He's so cool.
Well, it's interesting because it seems like a hard tone shift until you learn more about what the
What was
actual
going on.
storyline
Yeah,
is,
yeah.
and now it actually seems like the whole game kind of is steeped in this sort of melancholic tone,
Mm,
and there is some dark stuff going on behind the scenes.
Yeah.
yeah.
You've seen The Shelter, you know
Yes.
some of what's going on.
Yeah. I do like that. There's newspaper clippings and
Newspaper
all sorts
clippings,
of stuff.
the
of,
letters
Yeah.
tell you
yeah.
some more information. But and in fact, the third one I've seen, here's the thing, I don't know if we've all seen the same ones in the same order. I'll tell you what, the 3 I've seen.
What's the first one you saw?
First one I saw was on a beach.
I think
And-
was there a
and-
cat at the start? That's what I remember. Of the beach.
Don't remember. There
Oh,
was
there was a-
one that also had the drawing room.
No,
Okay.
I've
no.
Interesting.
I've seen one that has had a car crash.
I have a
Oh,
theory.
I had that.
Yeah,
Okay. I wonder if the location within the house
interesting.
plays a role in the video it plays, or if it's tied
Maybe-
to things.
I think
you've
it's tied
eaten.
to progression,
Hmm.
is my guess.
Okay. I have one of the videos I saw very heavily hints that I'm being watched,
Yeah, that's one.
Yeah, I had that.
That's one I saw as well. Yeah.
and that someone opened up the gates.
Yes.
Yep. And if you go into the final room, there is a ransom note.
Oh.
Have you seen the ransom note?
Yes.
I don't know anything. I don't know what to do with that information yet, but I'm pretty sure that's the
I-
relevance.
I know that. I know that whole
I can get the money.
bit.
I don't know what to do with the money.
Right.
Hmm.
Interesting stuff.
Very interesting.
Very, very interesting stuff.
But both of you have only seen 3. wonder if there's-
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
so.
Yeah. I wonder how many there really are.
Yeah, good question.
Yeah.
That seems in very much like the letters. That feels a little bit like the game's help,
Hmm.
which is quite cool.
Although,
Very
like, I
flavorsome.
Yeah, I suppose it's hinting at future stuff, I suppose, but I don't remember anything that actually has come true in that yet.
Fair point. Because yeah, the first one on the beach was the one I saw,
Yeah.
and it talks about how there's a room under a grotto or something like that, or in a grotto,
Right.
and I don't know what that is yet.
I mean, it probably will, but it's not like it's like, oh, a few days later this happened. It just feels like maybe you unlock something eventually and
Yeah.
it does something.
I also haven't taken any notes from those things.
I mean, I don't know how you do. I'm not
Screen
even.
record.
I wrote down some of the like phrases
Oh right.
because each thing will be a scene and a phrase.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
but
I don't know
can't
how
make
you-
kids or tales.
The only thing, like, because I've seen two. The first one I remember, I think it was that beach one, but I definitely remember seeing like a cat at the very start of it.
Okay. Completely unrelated.
Mm.
The children's books in that game are great.
Oh yeah, they are.
there's
right?
so many-
Oh yeah,
They're
So
really
all
good.
the books are great.
Yeah.
I think the set dressing, all this. One thing we have not really touched on, probably should have touched on the first half of this,
yeah.
is just how lovingly crafted so many elements of this game are.
Even just like the history and everything that you start piecing together,
Yeah,
like it's
yes.
all well done, like
Yes.
well thought out,
Yes.
and
well fleshed out. Like,
yeah.
it's, the execution is very strong in a lot
Mm.
of these things.
I really like because that Red Prince book, right? We found that,
You can
You
read it
read
in the
it,
nursery.
and you're like, oh,
and
that's neat. But
a
then
bit sad, and then
at the end though, when
They
it's
do a
actually
different
being
version of
narrated to
it.
it, it's just like, oh my god, this is so good.
now actually touching on that, in the storeroom, have you found that there's a page from one of the children's books?
In the storeroom,
Yeah,
which
storeroom is
which
one.
is the storeroom?
Oh, actually, kind of related to this. What rooms have you upgraded?
Oh, mine are all dumb.
Because I'm
Mine
wondering if that's random. Because I have, for
It
example,
is.
Might
I
be. I upgraded. I got a hallway to upgrade.
Yeah, I've got a hallway with a key. I got an extra key and what's it called, like Nubby or something?
The Nook.
Nook.
Oh yeah, I got an extra key in the was it closet that you get like one of each thing. I think I get 2 keys.
Yeah,
and,
I get an extra
gold.
gem in
that's
there.
the storeroom.
Storeroom.
Oh, that's
the
yeah,
storeroom.
Okay, that is not random. The rooms that are available to are, it sounds like, are not random.
Yeah,
Because I also have an upgraded Nook, an upgraded storeroom.
Okay.
I don't think I've got an upgraded Nook though.
I have an upgraded billiards room.
No, I haven't upgraded.
No, not billiards.
I haven't upgraded. What's it called? The one with the chests.
Parlor.
Parlor. I haven't upgraded parlor.
My
I
parlor's not upgraded.
also
Oh wait,
have
do I have an
parlor.
upgraded parlor?
I do.
How many gems do you get from the thing?
3, but that's
Okay.
because I upgraded it. To
Oh yeah,
get
no, I
a
do have an
bonus
upgraded
gem.
one. Yeah, I do then. Yeah, I do have 3. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
I wonder if it's actually just based off the location you find the thing, the upgrade disc, and if we've found this. Oh no, it can't because
it
some of them are
isn't.
from the shop.
It isn't. I think that they give you. It's a certain. I think specific rooms can be upgraded, and that you get them in a specific order,
Hmm.
and you may just not have found.
Oh, wait,
something.
I upgraded.
Like,
I upgraded something else, but I don't remember if it was through that where I added another color to a room.
okay, interesting. Oh, the maid's chambers, maybe.
No, I can't remember what it was. It was a green room that then gets, or it was a orange room that
Oh.
had that got green on it.
I got the nurse's room or something upgraded.
Nursery.
Nursery.
Okay. Interesting.
But yeah, I can't remember what I got. Oh, no, it was an upgrade. Yeah, it was definitely an upgrade. Man, I don't even remember.
Well, we could talk about the specific disc locations later, but okay. Well, the storeroom is the one that has a key, coin, and a gem.
Yep.
By default, and in my case, I got upgraded to have 2 keys.
Yep.
I think in retrospect, I might have gone for 2 gems.
Yeah, mine's 2 gems.
Because I think gems are key. I thought keys are the thing that are going to block me the most.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
That
as
is
well.
not the case.
Yeah.
Gems are the thing that block
Gems.
you. The
Yeah.
most.
There's just so many mechanisms for getting keys, and less for gems.
Would you-
Unless
Not just that, but gems are a flexible tool, and when you are presented with 3 options, sometimes 1 or 2 of them will require gems.
yeah,
You unlock the thing that gives you 2 gems at the start, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember what it is.
It's the mine.
yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Of course.
that's right.
And there's a room that gives you 2 gems the next day.
Yes.
Which I can, as part of my Nook,
Oh yeah.
I get to add that room to my draft every time I get the Nook.
Oh, that's
The
cool.
morning room, love it.
Morning room. Oh,
Morning
cool.
room, my Nook. You have a little breakfast. You get 10 steps, delicious,
Cool.
and it adds a morning room to your draft
Oh, that's cool.
for the day. It's great. Anyway, in the storeroom, which is the key, coin, gem room, on a chair, pretty well hidden, is a little page from the Water Bird.
Oh, really? In the
Yeah.
storeroom?
In the storeroom.
The amount of times I've been in there.
I still don't know why it's there. I'm not sure I've had a look at it with a
That's
magnifying
weird.
glass yet. But from looking carefully at
Yeah.
it with my bare eyeballs, I
Wow.
couldn't see anything that would stand out with the magnifying glass.
It's kind of
Usually you
amazing
can
how
kinda
well
see
they do at.
giving you a little bit of information, but not enough to actually see it.
Where you actually
until you get
need to go get the magnifying glass. You know there's something there. You just don't know what it is.
I honestly, I think the magnifying glass is like my favorite tool of them all.
It's my favorite and least favorite.
So can I just keep a magnifying glass on me
Yes.
at all
Yeah.
times, please?
Yeah. Also, you're a scout. Bring a magnifying
Yeah.
glass. Why can't you bring
You
your
just
own
throw it
things?
away.
Who's gonna stop you? You own the house now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anyway. All right. I think
great.
we're probably out of time.
Yep.
Check.
Going for quite a while.
Yeah, we're way over. All right. Well, hopefully you already bought the game if you were listening, and we haven't spoiled everything for you. And if you have had everything spoiled for you, sorry. That's what this episode was. We'll be back hopefully in a couple weeks. So thanks, guys. You can email frenzyquestions@gmail.com or leave comments. Yeah. Anything else, guys?
See you in 2 weeks exactly.
2 weeks
Yep.
exactly, as always.
As always.
Just like last time.
Yep.
Don't look at the date. Bye. Nikolai had a tea and it was leaking through his styrofoam cup.
Oh.
And it was because I think like the chemicals in tea, I don't think it was decaf tea, it was like a fruit tea, but then it made me look up decaf for some reason and I discovered that's the thing where like some of the chemicals they use to extract the caffeine can just dissolve your styrofoam cup as well.
Yeah, there are two methods that use solvents, or one method that uses one or two solvents.
Seems weird that you'd use a solvent on a thing that's going to definitely go in a cup that uses a solvent
in
to
a
stay
person.
together.
Yeah, in a
Or-
yeah. That's
Yeah, okay.
If it's dissolving your cup, I mean, I know those aren't like
yeah, but I
actually
mean, your guts
equivalent,
aren't
but
made of styrofoam, so
Yeah,
hey, it's
exactly.
It's fine.
Yeah? That's a whole other food then.
and maybe it'll help break down some of those microplastics.
Yeah. Yeah, actually, good point. We need more.
We're going to get to a point where we're getting prescribed industrial strength microplastic solvents.
Yep. Oh my god.
And this is for your testicles
Oh.
because of all the microplastics in there.